Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making Aşüre. Believe it or not, I've already recorded all this before the boil come up, but I'm having problems with my internet as per usual. So just quickly to let you know, main ingredients is chickpeas and dried beans, and also wheat pearl barley. What I've done, I've used this mug to make my measurements, but obviously you don't have to use as much. I've done 3 mugs of the pearl barley. Believe it or not, that's 3 mugs full. What you have to do is soak them up overnight and leave them till the next morning, which is what I've done. I've got 3 mugs of chickpeas, again soaked up overnight. Now I'm just putting them all to be cooked separately, and also the dried beans, which I've used a bit more because I'm going to cook some for dinner as well. But there's I've done 4.5 cups of beans here. They do all bring out froth, and you've got to take all the froth away. By soaking them overnight, they do expand and become double, triple their sizes. But that's the beans. We need to cook them separately from the pearl barley. Once they're cooked, we're going to then add it on into the pearl barley. So just keep taking away the froth as they bring it out on each of them. That's why I've got a big pot here that I will be using to cook the whole lot into it afterwards. The other ingredients, you're obviously going to have sugar to taste. So I will be adding about 6 to 8 cups, but obviously taste it as you go along to see if you like it. Right at the end, I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon of cornstarch with 1 cup of milk to dissolve it and then add that into it. And then we've got dried apricots. I'm going to chop them up, dried figs, and dried grapes, sultana grapes. So they'll all be added into it. I'm not going to add too many of the figs inside because they do change colour, so I'm just going to put a couple in there, just dice them up. And what you should do with your dried fruit is you should soak it up in water as well, and then drain it and use it. Then I've got some walnuts and hazelnuts I'm going to be using. Obviously almonds and peanuts, whatever you like, you can use in this. I've got some plums that I'm going to use this on the end to decorate it with, so I won't put them in to change colour. I'm just going to be decorating this with it on top. Apples as well. Some people like to put apples. I've never used apples in it. I always like to have orange grind and the juice of the orange as well, but they're not in season just yet. They're only just coming out. And then on top, we've got cinnamon and sesame seeds, and the black poppy seeds. And the main decorating thing that we're going to use is the pomegranate seeds. So that's the ingredients that I'll be using. I'll carry on taking the froth. Once the chickpeas and the beans are cooked, we're going to be adding it into the pearl barley, and I'll come back to you at that stage. Okay, while the pulse is getting cooked away, I'm just preparing my dried fruit. I've put my raisins in water, so covered in water to soak up. I'm going to be doing the same with our figs. I've just chopped up 4 figs. All you do is just cut this tail off and then slice them, and then go the other way and just slice them so they're in nice little cubes. Same thing with the apricots. I'm just sliced them across first, and now I'm going to slice them across like that, just make them into small pieces. I'm going to be soaking up my figs. 4 figs, I think it's going to be enough to put inside, and the rest I'm just going to slice them up this way and put some on top in each plate once I'm serving on the end. So So I'm just going to soak these up and cut up a bit more apricots. Apricots are they're quite nice in it, so I'm going to cut about 10 of them and put that inside the whole thing. Okay, they've now been cooking on for about an hour each. They're really gone fine, all cooked. What we need to do now, I've done the chickpeas, so that needs to go in. As I said, they've been cooking separately, and now it's time to add them all together. And this is the beans. I've taken some out before they're really cooked, as I'm going to be cooking kuru fasulye with them, my dinner. And then I've cooked these a bit further, so they really are soft. And now I'm going to pour that into it as well. Now with this, as it needs water, you will add water into it. Make sure it's hot boiling water, so have your kettle ready, boiled up, and just add water as it needs, when it needs it. So if it's taken the water, then just add hot water into it. So we'll let that cook together for a little bit. I have done soaked up my raisins, so they're all been soaking, and that needs to go in. With the dried figs, I've done 4, again soaked up, and that's done. I've done 20 of apricots, all cubed up finely. They were alright actually to go straight in. So that's, add them in. Add my washed raisins and the 4 cubed washed figs. I thought these would bring out colour, the plums, but they're not. They're not that thingy. So I'm chopping up 4 of these plums, and I'm chopping up 2 of these plums into little pieces, and then I'll add them into it as well. And then I've peeled a large pomegranate, so that's all ready to go right on the end. Apple, again, I'm going to peel it up and do that right at the end as well. So I'm going to chop these and add these into it, and then we're going to come back and we're going to add our sugar. Okay, I've added my chopped up plums into it as well. So they're all in there, cooking away. I've chopped up my walnuts, they're a bit more bite size, so putting them in. I had a handful of almonds as well, so I've just chopped up the almonds, so I'm going to put them in. With the walnuts, hazelnuts, I'm going to leave that to put on top, decorate them with on top. So that's our aşüre. And now I'm going to add in 6 cups of sugar. Let it boil for 10 minutes or so, and then taste it, and then decide if I need any more. So I'm going to carry on putting 5 more in, add in a little bit more hot water, and let it simmer away 15 minutes, and then I'll taste it. Okay, our aşüre is ready. I have tasted it and then felt it needed a little bit more sugar, so I ended up adding 2 more cups of sugar into it. So I've now got 8 cups of sugar in it. As you can see, it's a bit watery at the moment, and some people like it watery, but once we put the corn flour into it, that will thicken it up as well, and once it cools down, it thickens up. I've just diced up 1 apple, just in small pieces, so I'm going to add my apple into it as well. And then all I'm going to do now is, I've got 1 tablespoon of corn flour, So just put 1 tablespoon of corn flour. I'm going to add my milk bit at a time and just dilute it, and then fill it up with a cup of milk, and then pour that in, give it a mix, and then turn it off. And then I will dish them up onto the plates, and then I will be decorating them with pomegranates. I've got a few figs there, hazelnuts, chopped up walnuts, sesame seeds, the black ones, what they're called again, and cinnamon. So I'll come back once I've added my cornstarch in it as well. Once I've added that in, I'm going to turn it off and it's done. Okay, I'm still dishing them up, but I've got some to send away with my husband, so I thought I'll just quickly stop to show you. As you're putting them in, as you're dishing them up, they do get settled down, so they might seem a bit watery, but they do get settled down. And then you just decorate them however you want. So poppy seeds, cinnamon, sesame seeds, walnuts, hazelnuts, dried figs and pomegranate, and then you just decorate them however you want and seal them up and give them out to all your friends and families. The more you share, the more it is good. So I shall continue dish mine up, but basically this is how the custom is. There we are. Finally dished them all up, ready to be taken and given out to all our friends and family. There we are. Some people take their time to decorate it really nicely. I just put a bit of everything in it, but you can go ahead and decorate it so you've got a nice pattern to them. Afiyet olsun, I hope you give it a go. Now you know how Aşüre is made.